Raptor Farm. You will be here in Radasam. From there, so we'll start with inventory first. So, as you can see, really what armor you have this on. If you're new, coming back, old, it doesn't matter what armor you put it on as long as it's max armor. Um, Now I will say there's one way you can make this better, and I'll get to that at the end, but I'm not doing it, so take it for what you want. But anyways, you want +3 swordsmanship rune, and then you want to, I'm using the knight insignia. So the knight insignia with the +3 swordsmanship, and then this has reduced -3 physical damage, and that's from your knight's insignia. So, which is important for this because the raptors do physical damage. Moving on. So this is the one thing that I said that you could do better. You could get the superior vigor rune. I'm not going to use the superior vigor rune just because it's 60 platinum. Not for 19 HP. It's not really worth doing in my opinion. This was already 7.5 platinum. Anyways, again, then you're going to use another knight's insignia, and then for this one I'm using the +1 tactics. You can put that on any armor. You can do this in any variation. For some insignias, I will say pay attention because they could matter what armor slot they go on. But for knight's insignia, it doesn't matter. And then for my last 2 slots, I'm just using the Vitae rune of Vitae, which gives you +10 health, and then knight's insignia on the last 2 as well. So that kind of goes into what you need for your armor. For your weapon, you can go super simple. The armor pen is just a plus that I already had. You don't actually need the armor pen. But the +15 over 15 damage, and then the fortitude is really what you're looking for. Tactic shield, really it doesn't matter, but you want to try to have a tactics because you're already building up your tactics for some of the abilities you have to use. And then health +30, that's a big one, especially with the -75 for the rune. And it just makes you stronger. And then try to get, this one is important, so through thick and thin is the inscription you want on this, because the raptors do piercing damage, so you want to mitigate the piercing damage. So there's that. So that goes over everything with the armor. Now we're going to go to the abilities. So I am unstoppable. This keeps you from being knocked down because the raptors can interrupt you and knock you down. And it just gives you an extra 24 armor. Protector's defense. Allies adjacent to you, 75% chance to block. Now what that does is if you come over to this ability, where he stands, so when you block, you gain adrenaline and 5 energy for each block. So, for every time you block, gain adrenaline. Okay, then Mark of Pain. So you're going to open up with Mark of Pain. Essentially what this does is whenever you deal damage to a foe adjacent, or like to that foe that you put that on, 30 damage adjacent to everyone. So I'll go over how this plays into it when we get into the farm. But you're going to want to place that on, and I'll show you when to do both of them. I'll try to slow them down, try to do it as bad. You kind of got to move. Can't really slow too much down, so I might try on the editing of the video. 100 blades. Once you get set up and you get to the point where you're putting up all your defensives, you'll cast 100 blades to make sure that it's active. It is what it is. It's going to do slashing damage to all adjacent foes. That's where a lot of your damage comes from too. Soldier's defense, again, gives you more chance to block. Now, this right here goes into what I'll show you in a second. So you're going to pair this with a Paragon hero, and that's where you gain 75% chance to block while under the effect of a shout or a chant, because your Paragon's going to have a shout up when you get to the point. So then whirlwind attack, that just does a big AoE, and then for the very end, there is a chance that the boss will not die. If that happens, finish him. You're going to want to max out your, well, I say this, you're going to want to max out your Norn track, because this builds off your Norn reputation track, and I have found that 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to kill him with finish him if it's not higher level than what I have it, and I have it Slayer level 3, I think. I think the max is 5, so you just keep that in mind. Food for thought. Okay, I think that kind of goes into all the builds, how the abilities work. Let's go ahead and pull up the Paragon hero. Paragon hero, very basic. Skills. Alright. So, incoming, it allows you to regen some of your health. I apologize. Allows you to regen some of your health, as well as move faster. Vocal was Soulgun, shouts and chants last 40% longer on you. So this also buffs yourself. So when I was kind of getting at with Soldier's defense, so while under the effect of a shout, which incoming, and then can't touch this, and stand your ground are all shouts. These will get cast on you right before you do the pull. That's where Soldier's defense comes in, essentially. So, as well as this makes them last longer, and then you have Enduring Harmony, or chance and last. So you have your chance and shouts that both last 90% longer with this, and that's kind of the whole purpose. Also, because make haste, you do not want to slow down when you're pulling all the raptors. You will die. You'll just die. That is what it is. Can't touch this the next 4 touch range skills, and so this is good for when you're doing your Mark of Pain. That's what this is really for, so that you can cast your Mark of Pain from further away. And then shout. Party members and earshot gain plus 24 armor when not moving. So when you stop, this essentially just gives you stronger armor and the ability to stay alive longer while you get your stuff put together. That's another reason why Warrior's so much better at this. You can also do this as Dervish. It's just less forgiving. With Warrior, there's more forgiveness to the pool. But anyways, that explains a lot of the abilities. Now we'll get into the actual mechanics of it all. You can do this in normal, or you could do this in hard mode. I'm going to do it in hard mode just to show the thing, and then, yeah. So anyways, you're going to start off, you want this, bring your hero down here, hit up incoming. You can come over here. I've been doing this anyways. The one thing I will say, after you just pick this up, make sure you target yourself, because your Paragon will not cast the chance on you. You want to hit Enduring Harmony, and then go through all of your shouts. And then you want to send your Paragon hero way away so he doesn't affect your loot, and then you want to hit your Necro ability. Then you're going to kind of come in through here and weave around. So ideally, as you can see, my Mark of Pain, it's almost up. So then you want to start getting set up now. And then tab target, Mark of Pain, hit 100 blades, this, and then die. So as you can see, if you don't do it fast enough, you will die. You have a very short amount of time in which you have to get everything accomplished. That was a good example of how not to do it. So we'll do that again real fast. I'm not perfect at it, but this shows you things that you should not do. That wasn't perfect because I was trying to demonstrate. So, anyways, cast incoming. Come over here. Pick up your thing. Again, like I said, make sure you target yourself. Shouts. Go through the shouts. Send him away. Run down here. Target the raptor. He'll start charging you. Now you run forward. Do this. Pick up everything. Okay. Then you hit that, that. And then boom.